Hello and welcome back to ICU. I'm Melanie Sandy and today we're going to jump into a brand new topic. Today we're going to talk about empowerment. And last week my topic was on hood vision, and I felt like I wanted to move into empowerment because I felt as though we as a culture fail to empower each other. We fail to flow into each other and benefit or help others grow. We're always in competition. So I wanted to read to you the definition from Webster's Dictionary stating that empowerment is the authority or power given to someone to do something. So here's my letter to empowerment. Dear empowerment, the growth in one another. One is always in competition, but not with whom you think, but with oneself. One grows, life evolves. It reminds you that we all feed off of each other, requires one to lift the other, one to elevate, to inspire, to uplift. When working against each other, we fail. We break. We become vulnerable and weak. I was speaking with someone, and he told me one day at work he sat on break watching the ants work together as a team to build, to elevate, to survive. For something as simple and minute as an ant can know the importance, the benefits of working together. Why do we as people fail to realize, fail to elevate, fail to see that as a unit, as a team, greatness comes? As water flows into each other, we as people need to do the same. Empowerment. How can we get to a place where we have learned to empower ourselves so we can then empower others? We all seek to be leaders, but the lack of empowering self as well as others results in powerlessness. If one desires greatness, then one is in control of one's life to get there. However, lacking the feeling of being empowered to make the change can result in your lack of progression, your overall downfall. Empowerment. You must first arise within, from my beliefs, my actions, my skills, and using the following together to create change. If one does not possess personal empowerment, empowering others is just a figment of our imagination. Let's get to the place where we empower ourselves to then empower the ones around us. So, let's address some points about empowerment. The first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is self-empowerment. Are we truly in control? Do we have the beliefs and the skills? And if we do so, do we then turn that into action? Do we as people feel like we're empowered? And if so, are we making the proper steps to our greatness, to what we desire? In many ways, it falls into our hands. We're the ones that's in control of our lives. We're the ones that can make the difference. If I don't like where I'm going in life, what I'm doing in life, if I don't like what I see in the mirror, I'm the one to make the change. No one else. That falls on me. When you think about empowerment, we think about empowering others. But in many ways, we need to learn to first empower ourselves, to push ourselves to do more. If you don't like the way you look in the mirror, change the way you look. If you don't like the career that you chose, change the career. You have to be in control of your situation. You have to have the beliefs and the skills to then utilize and put into action. If we fail to act, then we fail ourselves. We also need to be extremely aware. A lot of times we lack the awareness of whether or not we are truly in control. How do we then find a way to be more aware? We observe ourselves. We stop living amongst us. Being aware and having awareness of oneself helps us with our self-empowerment. If we are not aware of our weaknesses and our strengths, then how can we succeed? How can we move forward in life if we don't even know what our strengths are? If we don't even know what we're truly good at? We need to first learn about self before we can, in any way or form, try and assist with others. So when thinking about empowerment, I came up with a few points. The first point that I want to talk about is self-empowerment. We as people, as individuals, need to learn to empower ourselves, utilizing things around us to empower ourselves. If we lack empowerment for ourselves to grow, to be great, to make a change, then there is no way or form that we can then empower others and flow into another person. We need to make ourselves as strong as possible for me to then give to someone else. And I feel a lot of times we're unable to empower others because we're fully not in control, because we're lacking the skills, because we're lacking the beliefs. And because of that, we overall lack the action. In many ways, the question that we need to ask ourselves are we in control? Are we in control of our surroundings? Are we in control of our life? And if we are, do you enjoy your life? Do you enjoy and love what you see in front of you? Are you happy with the career that you chose? And if not, what do you do to make the change? Because if you're empowered and you want something and you desire something, you're going to do anything in your power to reach that destination, to hit those goals, the goals that you set for yourself. But for someone who sets goals and never reaches them, when they are unrealistic and unattainable, that's that question that you need to ask yourself. Are you in control? And if you have yet to act on what you want, then most likely you're not in control. A lot of times we want to blame other people, but we can't do so. It's about who we are, what we believe, and what we need to do. Granted, yes, you want to have a support system and you want to have people to build you up and help you to feel empowered and to feel motivated, but no one can do it for you. You have to be motivated for yourself. You have to be driven for yourself. You have to find something inside of you that empowers you to want greatness, that drives you to make a change. And a lot of times we lack that. And because we lack that, again, we don't have the strength. We are incapable of flowing into someone else because we have yet to be able to flow into ourselves. When I think about are we in control, it makes me think about a few points that I dropped, such as, do we as people feel empowered? And if so, are we making the proper steps to our greatness, to what we desire? We have to remember that it falls in our hands, that we are the ones to make the change. If you don't like what you see, you need to change it. If you don't like where you live, move. If you don't like what you do for a living, find a new career. But if you are not motivated and driven, then none of those things will fall into play because you're not going to act on them because you're not motivated or driven to do so. Taking our beliefs, our thoughts, the skills that we've gained over time, and putting it into action is the number one part of empowerment. You can't be motivated and driven and empowered to do something and never act on it. That's a total opposite. Another point that I want to address is in self-empowerment, one needs to be very aware. I think a lot of times we lack awareness of ourselves. We lack the awareness of our strengths, of our weaknesses, of our triggers. We lack awareness of our fears. And because of that, we either set ourselves up for failure or we make excuses because of something that you're truly fearful of, or you make an excuse because it's actually a weakness that you don't want to acknowledge. You are the person that has to make the change. You are the person that has to motivate you. Yes, it's great to have others motivate you and support you, but no one can do it for you. I can't be more motivated for you to be great than you are motivated for yourself to be great. That's not how it works. You have to be number one, and I will follow suit. And if you are unable to act, unable to be aware, unable to acknowledge your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, then in no way or form would you ever be able to reach your greatest desires, because you're going to set yourself up for failure because you are going in blind. Another point that I want to address is once you have, I guess I can say, get to the place where you have learned to empower yourself and that has become your norm. That is something that is easy for you and you have no difficulty in acting on what you want or seeking what you want. At that time, it is the time for you to then try and empower other people. A lot of times, it's a shame to say, but in our culture, we fail to do so. We tend to think that we're in a race and there's only one winner. But the world is humongous, and there's so many different lanes that each and every individual has their own lane. No one is invading your space. So why do we have the mindset of being in competition with others when we should be in competition with ourselves? I should be in competition with who I was yesterday because I want to be somebody greater today. Not in competition with the girl next door or the girl at my job or the mom at the soccer game. In no way or form are any of those individuals my competition. I should be my own competition. And when you view it in that manner of others being your competition, that is when you get to the place of selfishness. That is where you get to the place of jealousy, and you feel as though you're unable to help another because you don't want them to be better than you. Or you're unable to help another because maybe society has made you think you helping someone else or you supporting someone else is setting yourself up for failure, or it's going to be a competition so that now you are less great. In no way or form is the person's next to me greatness affecting my greatness. I am great because I am great. They are great because they are great. In no way or form can their greatness or their lack of greatness affect me. And I think our society today teaches us different. It teaches us that we're in competition. It teaches us that there's only one winner. It teaches us that if I have somebody that I feel is a mentor, or I want to ask them, about something that's, maybe they're in the same field that I work in and I see them, doing great things. And now I want to ask them about, some ideas. Society has taught us that me doing so results in me being envious of them, or better words, jocking a style. Like, how does that even make sense? But our culture is so twisted that this is what we think. That if I ask you how you did something and how you became great, that makes me look like I'm just, I'm on you, or oh my gosh, she's stuck on me, or she wants to be like me. No, I don't want to be like you. I want to be great in my own lane. But if I see you being great, why shouldn't I ask a question? I thought that's how we all become great. Why is it that our society makes us think that I have to step on your back to get to the top, versus creating a human ladder so that we all can get to the top? How do we change that? We change that by, once we have learned to empower ourselves, we then jump into my next point: empowering others, teaching others, giving others skills that may benefit them in the long run. Why is that such a bad thing? When I came back to the East Coast, I reached out to someone that was a friend from many years ago, and unfortunately I didn't speak to them for a while. However, when I reached out to her, she was open and she was willing to talk to me. This person was in the same field that I was in and was elevating tremendously. I watched her grow from being, in a totally different field to, coming into my field, excelling, getting her licensing, and opening up her own company. And when I seen that, that motivated me to want to touch base with her and find out, what, where, and how. And she gave me open arms. There was no negativity. There was no pushback. She taught me things. She, provided me and shared information. And she showed me what a true leader is, because she had no problem in flowing into me to make me great. She did not feel threatened. She did not take it as I'm jocking her style. She did not take it as me asking her is going to make her less great. That wasn't her mindset. And she probably doesn't even know that she's my mentor. But I watch her and I, speak to her on a regular basis because I want to follow up with her. But she has shown me that I can do it. If she was able to do it, then I can do it. And in no way or form am I in competition with her. However, I am utilizing the people around me to benefit me. And that's what we should do. Like, I don't know where and why we were taught any different. So jumping into the point of empowering others, learning to help another person. If you have succeeded and you found the route and the path to get there, why not show someone else? It's not taking from you in no way or form. Granted, yes, you may have did the footwork when you were doing it, but why not benefit somebody else? Like, why? I'm just, it just baffles me at times, because it makes me so confused as to why individuals are so threatened by other individuals trying to be great. If you are confident in yourself, then someone else's greatness should not make you feel threatened in any way or form. So you should want to flow into other people. You should want to create that human ladder and pull somebody up. You shouldn't want to step on their backs and push them down for you to get to the top. Because at the top, there is enough space for all of us. We can all grow. We can all elevate. And when we all elevate as a community, as a culture, it's great. I spoke to my cousin about this topic prior to me, doing this recording. And we were just brainstorming on little things. And she told me about a YouTube video that she watched about a man that went and spoke to this homeless man that was panhandling, which is, just asking for money in the streets. And he gave him a product, regular product, and said, here, I'm giving you all of these products, and you can choose to sell them. Instead of you just sitting here asking for money, try and make some money. Weeks gone by and the man returned. When the man returned and met up with the guy that he gave the products to, the guy was super excited, telling him, oh my goodness, I sold all these products, all the products that you gave me, and I wanted to know if I can get some more. But this time, I want to give you money. So I want to pay for more product. The man then said, great, I'm super excited that, you are, is working for you. And he, provided the man more product and got his payment. Few weeks go by and he then returned again. Again, the man was super excited. He explained to him that he's been selling the products. He now got friends of his to also sell the products. And the guy is basically super excited about this man's progression. Basically, long story short, he flowed into this man. He did not initially expect the homeless man, or if this man was homeless, I'm not sure, but he did not expect that man to initially give him money for the product. He just chose to flow into him to make somebody great without feeling threatened. Because granted, now this man is selling these products and he is now having enough funds to, hire people to sell products for him. And this man that initially gave him the products, he does not feel threatened. He's happy that he was able to make someone great. He was able to teach someone how to fish. Like, this right here shows exactly what we're talking about empowering other people to be great without being threatened or feeling like you're in competition. How do we get to a place where this is what we do on a day-to-day basis and this is not rare? The fact that that little YouTube video showed skills and things that so many people fail to do or refuse to do is crazy to me. In empowering others, I feel like we tend to not know what to do because we're so it's so foreign to us, and we're not normally flowing into other people because this is what our culture and society has taught us, that there's only one winner. I feel like we need to remind ourselves what we should do to empower others. And they're very minor, such as sharing information. Sharing information can help so many people. Again, when I first came back to the East Coast and I reached out to a friend, she was in the same field. She didn't have to share information for me. As I spoke to her, the first initial conversation, she spoke to me, we got information, we exchanged numbers, and she gave me some, feedback on some things. She then randomly would text me, information about certifications, about the process of getting certifications. And in doing so, I was able to gain certifications that I didn't have previously. And she didn't have to do that. She shared information without being asked. So sharing information, I think, is a number one thing that can help empower others. Another step that we can do is creating clear goals and objectives. A lot of times we fail to create goals that are obtainable, or just creating goals in general. So being able to, okay, you know what? I want to basically empower 5 people within the next year. How am I going to do that? Have it be I share information. Have it be I create this podcast. Have it be I go to seminars or I volunteer. Whatever the case may be. But creating goals for yourself to empower others is just a start, because now it is requiring you to do so. It is not something that you're just talking about, but you're actually setting goals and you're actually going to check them off your to-do list, because now you're acting and you're not just talking about it. You're actually being about it. I think another step that we need to realize is when empowering others and empowering yourself, we need to understand that in the journey of becoming great, there are going to be mistakes. There's going to be failures. And with that being said, being supportive of one's achievements and helping and assisting when one fails. A lot of times, people tend not to want to speak of their failures because people are judgmental, or, people tend to belittle, or whatever the case may be. But having people understand that failure comes with the territory. If you are not failing, that you are not trying. It is no way, in no form, that every and anybody is doing something without failing. That is just unrealistic. That is imagination. That is, the fairy tale. So allowing one to know that one is okay if she fails or she makes a mistake, and having a support system that can provide praise when they do great, but also is there for when they fail. Another thing that I feel like we need to also, realize when empowering others is that teamwork is something that benefits. There is no one that can create a multi-billion dollar business by themselves. It's impossible. Everyone needs a supportive team. So unfortunately, we tend to want to do everything, for self, and we want to do it all by ourselves, but it's impossible. You always need a team. Just like they say back in the day, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to create a masterpiece. And with that being said, realizing that gaining people around you to help you, to support you, to provide you with ideas, to brainstorm with you is beneficial, and it's healthy. We tend to want to do everything by ourselves, and it's unhealthy. God didn't make Adam. He made Adam and Eve and then told them to multiply. So he wants us to be together. He wants it to be more than just one. He doesn't just want you to be by yourself and create these things by yourself. It's impossible. So having a team to support you in any way or form. I feel as though once we gain the understanding and the importance of working together and empowering others and flowing into others, I feel we as a culture, as a society, would be so much better. I think we would be better off because we will no longer try and break people down, or it won't be a true competition. We will learn that if I elevate and you elevate, then we are benefiting our community. If, for example, again, I repeat, I'm from Camden, and if I can find a way to elevate myself and create a business that is going to be great, why not try and find staff from my urban area? Why not try and create seminars to assist in my urban area? Why not find a way to make my community better and elevate the people around me versus me just wanting to be great by myself and watching other people fend for themselves and not know the next step? If I've learned and been taught, why not continue and teach another? I feel like we need to make this a trend. Make it where if you have been taught by one, then you should be teaching another. Again, flowing into another, because we tend to, again, want to be by ourselves. So I want to know what you guys think about empowerment and, How do you guys feel? Do you guys feel that it is important to first empower yourself to then empower others? And do you feel that our society and our community and culture around us has taught us different? And if so, what are you doing to make the change? What are you doing to teach yourself to or learn to empower yourself to eventually be able to empower others? So let me know what you guys think about this topic. Let me know, what's your steps to empowering yourself and what's your steps to empowering others. And drop some comments down and let me know what you think. I hope you guys enjoyed this topic, and I hope that we get to a place that we learn to flow into each other, because my greatness does not affect your greatness. I want to see everybody on top, and I want to see everybody great doing, great things. And I hope that we as a community, as a culture, can find a way to do so. I hope to see you guys soon, and I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. I see.